Good afternoon, StreamYard and YouTube fans. This is Philip Reynolds. My contact information is on the screen. SpiritPraise64@gmail.com. Please subscribe and turn on your notifications for when I'm on. Video content is meant for adults only. This is not meant to be kid friendly or family friendly. Today our game is between the Birmingham Black Barons of 1943 and the 1930 St. Louis Stars. Our lineups are Sampson for the Barons. We have Sampson, Davis, Hardy, Walker, Lindsay, McLaurin, Spearman, Lockett, and pitching is McGinnis. For the Stars, we have Wells, Radcliffe, Russell, Giles, Creasy, Bell, Reedus. The second Russell up is Branch Russell, and then followed by Trent. Both pitchers, McGinnis is a B. Both are grade B pitchers. Trent and McGinnis are grade B. McGinnis has a notation of Z, and Trent has a notation of Y. The Barons are fielding two. They are basically we're a 40, and the Stars were 43, so they were way above what was necessary for fielding one. As you see, I have my dice container back, and I switch cameras. I have started to put my stands into use so that you can clearly see the cards. And I will be rolling the dice and then showing you what is on Sampson's card. So there'll be a lot of switching between cameras. So with that in mind, Sampson is up at the plate, and for a first roll, oh, we have a leaner on our first roll, so that will not count. We've got a 16. And that is a 28, with Stars being a 1. And that is put out by from short to first. That's 6-3. That will bring up Davis. And that is a 42. And that is a 32 on Davis's card. And that is a fly out to right field. Wells is up next. And that is a 65. Which is a 35. And that's a ground out to the first baseman. So 3 up and 3 down for the Barons. And we go to the bottom of the first. Wait a minute. Oh, shit. Well, how did I do that? Ah, gosh. Shoot. Oh, already made a mistake already, but it's not gonna. Since it was 3 up and 3 down, I'll just treat it as 3 up, 3 down, and because Wells was the first batter for St. Louis, not for uh, the Barons, the third batter for the Barons. So that was my mistake. Hey, Sean, good to see you. We're in the bottom of the first. I had a mistake in the first, but it was 3 up and 3 down. So because Wells is my batter for the Stars, and I accidentally used him for the Birmingham Barons. And here you see my new stands at work where you can actually see the card all at once, and it's nice and clear. Um, and I can zoom down here, and there is my tray. Wells is batting for the Stars in the bottom of the first. We get a 31. Which on Wells' card is an 8 with a grade B pitcher. That's a fly out to center field. So, see, it didn't matter too much anyway. Puts Radcliffe up. And that is a 23. And we got to remember that the Barons are fielding too. So that's. Oh, he makes it to first on an error by the center fielder. See, now what I did is I got 3 stands in the back, and you see that Radcliffe is on first, and Russell's here at the plate. Russell at the plate. That is an 11 for Russell. And that is a roll again. Look at the second column. And switch back to the dice box. And that is a 45. And on the second column, that's a 6. The man at first, a gray B pitcher, a double over first, runner to third, an F, and that's a runner to. Let me see here. He's not fast, so that puts him at third and Russell at second. And that puts it was a double. Brings Giles up. And we have minute second and third with only one out. Giles is up. Runners on second and third. We're at fielding 2. Giles gets a 63, which for Giles is a 31. Fielding 2. That's out to center field again. Runners hold. Creasy comes up. And Creasy gets a 65. His card is a 35. Huh. Foul out to the first baseman. So we ended both innings. We ended both innings this kind of the same way, with the foul out to the first baseman. Stars got some stuff going, but they just couldn't get anybody across the plate. Right. We got go to the top of the second. No score. Walker's up for the Barons. We flip back down to the dice. We have a 13. Which is a strikeout. Oh, I'm sorry. That's a 13 on. It's a 13 on the dice, but on the card, I get that confused sometimes. But on the card, a 13 is a 14, which means that Walker did exactly that. He walked. Which puts Lindsay up at the plate. Walker walked. Okay. That is a 52. Which is a 27. And that well, that is that's out at first. So that's 5-3, which moves the runner to second. So we have a man at second now. Puts McLaurin up. And McLaurin with a man at second. McLaurin with a man at second will try to bunt him over to third. Runner on second. See what we get. That's a 41. 41. Says catcher picks runner off at second. So that's 2-4. That gives us 2 outs. But McLaurin's McLaurin is still up because there's no resolve. All right, let's see what we got here. 23 with bases empty. Oh, wait a minute. I take that back. That does resolve it because that means that McLaurin is on first. Because that was a bunt. And that brings Spearman up to the plate. We have a runner at first. All right, let's move it down here. Spearman gets a 65. Which on his card is a 35. And that is a foul out to the catcher. And that is the end of the top of the second. No score. We go to the bottom of the second with Bell up first. All right. Roll the dice. Bell gets a 53. Which on his card is a 16. And the Barons are fielding 2 with nobody on. That's just a fly out to center field. Reedus comes up. Reedus is up, 1 away. He gets a 23. Which is a 26. And that's second to first baseman, 4-3. Which bring up Russell. And that is Branch Russell. All right. Branch Russell is up. Nobody on. 2 outs. And that is a 52. Which on Branch Russell's cards a 27. And that will be out at first base by the third baseman. That's 5-3. Okay. And we are at the top of the third. Top of the third. Lockett is up. Lock it up. And that is 65. Which is a 35. And the base is empty and fielding one. That's a ground out to the first baseman. And that will bring up McGinnis. Bring McGinnis up to the plate. And that's a 61. On McGinnis's card is a 24. Fielding one. And that's put out by the shortstop. Sampson's up, top of the order. With 2 outs. He gets a He gets a 63 on that. For Sampson, 63 is a 31. Fielding one. That's put out by the center fielder. So 3 up and 3 down go the Barons in the third. That brings us to Trent for the Stars. Okay. Oh, and sorry, we are in the bottom of the third. And our roll was a 62. And on Trent's card, a 62 is a 27. And the Barons are fielding 2. And that's a put out by the third baseman. So that's 5-3. Brings up to the top of the order. Okay. Somebody I don't know. And my order has been delivered. Wells is up, 1 out, and and that's a 56. With Wells a 56. 56 is a 34 with the Barons. Okay. Guinness has it. Okay. Okay, so that's a pop fly to the shortstop. If it had been for the other team, that would have been a strikeout because the other team's pitcher had a Y notation. All right, so Redcliffe is up. Redcliffe is up. And we'll roll. And Radcliffe's roll was a 14. For Radcliffe, that is a 30. And Barron's being fielding 2. 30 is a fly out to left field. So we go to the top of the 4th. Hey guys. No, it's not that it's washed out, Tony. It's the fact that the sun's. I'm right in sun range right here, and I do have the shades as close as I can get them. And I'm in the top of the 4th. In the top of the 4th, and I'm gonna step out a second. I'll be back. I gotta check to see if something's at my door or not. Unfortunately, not. So I will have to go after this game down to the my box and check things out. All right. All right. Sorry about that. I had to. I got a notice that I had gotten a package, and I guess the package was small enough to fit in the post box down outside. So I'm gonna have to go after my game and check it out. Um, and Davis is up. We're fielding 1. Nobody's on. All right, let's roll the dice. Sorry about that. Davis got a 63, which on his card is a 31. And that'll be a fly out to center field. which brings up Hardy, which is a guy accidentally skipped, but it really didn't make that much of a difference. All right. We will switch cameras, roll the dice. And that's a 61. And on Hardy's card, the 61 is a 24, which is put out by the shortstop. And that will bring Walker up. All right. Walker. Oh. Oh, that's 4. Walker's roll was double ones. And that will mean that we, of course, go to the second column with another roll. He gets a 13. Which on Walker's card is a 6. And both pitchers are grade B, which means that's a double. Oh, I got somebody at the door. I'll be with you guys in a second. We got Walker at second. We got Lindsay up. And as you saw, I had to get up because I got a package. And you know what that means. When you get a package, you got to open it up, of course. So we're stopping to open the package. And you can see I got a card cutter is what I got. And that's because, as you saw yesterday, when I have to cut, I'm gonna have to cut all my, oh, geez. I'm gonna have to cut all those cards, and there are a lot of them. Like I said, I got 102 pages, but not all of them will have to be cut. Just the ones that have the team players and stuff like that. And then I'm gonna have to go and because I don't want them to get bent up and all that, I want to go and get them laminated. So yeah, it'll be something to play with. There's only one problem with that, Tony. We're not the Brooklyn isn't playing in this game. It's Birmingham Barons and the St. Louis Stars, which are Negro League, and we got Walker at second. We got Lindsay up and 2 out, and at the top of the fourth. So we'll go ahead and roll for Lindsay and see how that goes. And we get double fours. And on Lindsay's card, that is an 8. Great Pete. And that's a fly out to center field. So that's a fly out to center field. All right. So we now go to the bottom of the fourth. And Russell is up. Russell's up. And switch camera. Russell gets a 25. And with fielding 2, well, first of all, 25 on Russell's card is a 27 with fielding 2. And that's going to be out by the third baseman, which will bring Giles up. And that is a 12. And on Giles' card, a 12 is a 25 with fielding 2, a 25 is an out by the second baseman, which brings up Creasy. All right. And that is a 55. And on Creasy's card, 55 is an 8. And I think that's a fly out the center field. So 3 up and 3 down. Lauren. Oh. Brings up McLaurin. For the Birmingham, and we were in the top of the 5th. We're in the top of the 5th, still no score. McLaurin's up. And that is a 62. Which is a 29. And that is out by the pitcher. 1-3. Which brings up Spearman. It's a 33. That is a 7. Grade B pitcher, 7. That's a single. And that brings up Lockett. All right. Oh, same roll twice in a row, 33. But a different batter. And that will be a 0, which means a hit, possibly, for Lockett. And that roll is 64. The second column on a 64 says a 6. And then that's a double to center field. So that will get us, and he's fast. Yeah, so, okay. There we go. You can see where the players are at. McGinnis is up. And we have men at second and third with one out. So second and third with one out. Let's see. Squeeze play, or do we go first and third? So that's not an option. So our only option here is, because the hit and run is for runner on first and runner on first and third. So our only option here is the sacrifice bunt. And that's what we'll do. We'll try to bunt a run home. With one out, it's not going to kill us. And he got a 43, which on well, that's nice. $43 on here says it's a strike and runners hold safely, so it's basically do it again. And I think this time we're just gonna try to roll normally. We're not gonna, and they are fielding one. That's right. Okay, McGinnis is gonna try again here, and he gets a 66, which on McGinnis's card is a 0. So did he get a hit? Let's check it out. Check it out. He got a 52, which on McGinnis's card, 52, the second column is a 7 with the grade B pitcher. It says single to left, runner scores, batter to second on throw home. No. Runners, okay. Single to left, runner scores. The guy on third, batter's second on throw home. So does okay. So we still have men on second and third, except for Spearman scores, Lockett goes to third, and McGinnis goes to second, and that brings up the top of the order. So he gets a single, scores Spearman, and McGinnis went to second, and Lockett is at third, and we only have one out, and Sampson is up. So now the score, we finally got a score to the game. It's 1-0. It is 1-0 Barons. One nothing Barons, and Sampson's at the plate. Men at second and third, and we roll. And to 35 for Sampson, which on his card, 35, that's a strikeout on Sampson, which will bring up Davis. Davis is up. Can Davis get some more runs in? Davis gets a 54, and on Davis's card, that's a 32. And fielding one, that's a fly out to right field. And that will end the inning. But the Barons finally get a run on the board. We finally have a score to this game. We finally have a score to this game. It's 1-0 Barons. Okay. We've got Bell at the plate for the Stars. Bell is at the plate for the Stars. We're in the bottom of the fifth. And let's go ahead and roll. Bell gets a 16. And that is 28. Barons fielding 2, 28. That is out by the shortstop. Which brings Reedus up. Oh. Reedus gets a 66. And just as quick as that, you'll see that Reedus just yanked a home run. So we now have a tie game. Right. Brings Russell to the plate. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, it brings Russell to the plate, but I need to change the score. Got a tie score now. And Oh, sorry. I'm gonna have to re-roll that. That's a 12. For Russell, a 12 is a 25. Okay, 25, fielding 2. That's a put out by the second baseman. Which brings up the pitcher, Trent. All right, Trent's up. That is a 63. And that is a 32, which fielding 2, that is fly out the right. Takes us to the top of the 6th. Top of the 6th, tie score. With Wells up. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. I just almost made a mistake there. Hardy is up. We're at the top of the 6th. I've done that before. That's not a very nice thing to do. All right. Oh, wait a minute. Hardy gets a 55. Which on Hardy's card, $55 is an 8, which is a fly out to center field. Which brings up Walker. All right, let's see what happens with Walker here. He gets a 62. With Walker, that is a 39. And that will be a strike, so we roll again. And this time, we get a 24, which on Walker's card, 24 is a strikeout. Brings up Lindsay to the plate. right, Lindsay to the plate. Okay, Lindsay, let's see what you get. Oh, he's got a 52. And Lindsay's card of 52. It's 27. 27. 31. And that is put out by the third baseman. Will take us to the bottom of the sixth. Which brings up Wells to the plate. All right. Okay. 41 for Wells. That's 24. That's out by the shortstop. Brings up Radcliffe. It's 53. '53 is a 19. And Radcliffe, 19. That's an error by the third baseman. And that makes the second time today that Radcliffe has been on by an error. Brings up Russell, and that is John Russell. So that's 42. And on John Russell, 42 will be a 9. Runner first. It's a single. Runner to second. So we now have 2 men on. Russell. Giles batting. All right, Giles batting, man at first and second. And that was a 15, as you saw as I switched cameras. And a 15 fly out to left field. And that is our first out of this bottom of the sixth. Puts Creasy up. All right. Creasy up, 2-on. Let's get a 33. The 33, that is a 7. Runners at first and second. That's a single to left. 1 run scores. Says single to left, 1 scores, and then in parentheses it says S out at home and batter to second. Assist left fielder to catcher, other to third. So the 1 run scores. Second man is out at home and batter to second. Okay. Which, because that would be the third out, it's just out at home. So yeah, that's left fielder to the catcher then. And that's the third out. So no runs score in that inning. To try, but no runs scored. Puts McLaurin up for the Barons. And got a 65. And for McLaurin, 65. It's a 35. And that's a ground out to the first baseman. Brings up Spearman. Spearman rolls a 15. A 15 on Spearman's card is an 11. And it says, single to left, batter steals second on first pitch to next batter. 1 strike on batter. So Spearman is now on second, which brings Lockett up. Lockett is up. A minute, second. It's 23. Says runner out, stealing third. Third baseman is injured, unable to play in next 6 games. So for the Barons, that means because Lockett's up. I'm sorry. So so for the Stars, that means Creasy is out, and they have to put in somebody for Creasy. And oh, jeez. Which means, unfortunately, my other 2 guys are not third baseman, which means Creasy has to be taken out and replaced with. Oh, well, Creasy has to be placed with the next available best player, which would be Williams. So, and Spearman is out. So that means that Lockett got a single. And that puts up McGinnis. Puts up McGinnis. And that's a 22 for McGinnis. 22 is an 8. Runner at first. Yeah, it says runner out at first. So he's out third to first. And that takes us to the. I didn't change things up here. That took us to the top. So we are now in the. I didn't change things there. We're now in the bottom of the 7th. At the bottom of the 7th, which means it's a top the inning for the Birmingham when they get back up. Puts Bell, Reedus, Russell, Trent, Okay. So that puts Bell up for the Stars. Bell is up for the Stars. Bottom of the seventh. Seventh inning stretch time. Just kind of a recap. The pitcher for the Barons has scored the only run, and Reedus for the Stars hit a home run and has scored the only run for the Stars. And Bell is now up at the plate, and that's where we stand. And we have 16, which on Bell's card is a 28. And that's an out by the shortstop. Here comes the guy with the only run for the Stars. Our big slugger today so far, Reedus is up. And let's see what he comes up with on the dice. He's going to get another 66. So helps if you get it in the tray. He gets a 25 this time, which on Reedus's card is an 8. And I think that's a fly out to center field. Yes, it is. Brings up Russell. And this is Branch Russell. Let's see what Branch Russell comes up with. And that is a 24. Which is a strikeout. Wow. Which brings Trent up to the plate. And the Stars, they're going to go to the bullpen. And they're going to bring in Hensley, but their pitch hitter will be Suttles. So Suttles is now batting. All right. Let's see what Suttles rolls. Let's see what Suttles rolls here. He rolls a 36. And on Suttles' card, $36 will be 14, which is a walk, which brings Wells up. Okay, let's see what we got here for Wells. That is 51. For Wells, that is a 7. And that'll be a single to right. We have men at first and second. Oh, wait a minute. No. Wait a 7 with man at. Oh, single to right, runner to third. Makes a big difference. All right. Now, can we do a hit and run here? 2 outs. One's got a single. Runner went to third. 2 outs. Runners on first and third. Yeah. And we are going to have the runner of the we're going to have the defense in the C position, which is they're going to be in for this. And that is a 66, which is for Giles, it's, as you see there, a 0, which means we roll again. And that is a 65, which is an 8 on a hit and run play. It says single to center, one scores, other to third, against an A and C, an A and B, or B pitchers. C results number 28 below. So both of our pitchers are B, so we have to go to 28. And it says out at first, runner holds third, other to second. Oh, that's for C and D. Okay, but okay, so that means oh, okay, so that's against A and B. So I against the grade A, against A and C, or A and B pitchers. Both mine are B pitchers, so this doesn't. So I don't have to go to 28. So single to first, runner scored, and uh, we have men at first and third. So Suttles scores, Wells goes to third, and Giles goes to first. So he got a single. And oh shoot. I'm gonna have to re-roll this because my cards are out of order. Because that was Radcliffe's at bat, not Giles. Yeah, I am going to have to re-roll that. So Wells would go back to first. And we still have Suttles because it does make a difference. That's my mistake. Cards were not in the correct order, so Radcliffe batting. And that's a 44. It's a 7. And we're still doing this the hit and run. 7, it says single to right. And it still winds up being the same result. So, yeah. I had to re-roll it, but it's still the same result. And Russell comes up to the plate now. Radcliffe is on first. Wells is on third. Suttles is home. And Russell is up at the plate. Russell's at the plate. Very odd. I make 2 mistakes, and so far, neither one has really. I mean, it. When I went back and did it this time, it was the same result as the previous one, so it didn't really change the score, even though the Stars are up now 2-1. Okay, Russell gets a 26. And that is 27. First and third. Third. St. Louis, 27. And that is. Okay. Is he a Y? Oh, and that's right. No, that was on their team. But this is on the Stars. Kenneth is a Z, so that doesn't affect it. Okay. So runner out at first. So Russell's out at first. And the runners hold. Now brings up Giles. Now Giles is up. And that is a 56 for Giles. Runners at first and third. And 56 is a 34. Oh, wait a minute. That last, glad I caught that. That last run, last out by Russell was the end of the inning. So yeah, Giles comes up in the bottom of the eighth, scores now 2-1 Barons. I mean, 2-1 Stars. Sorry. All sorts of errors today. We're at the top of the eighth. Score is 2-1 Stars. I'll have to fix these when I get. Okay. Top of the eighth. And we're at the top of the inning with Sampson. Yeah. Sampson's up. Top of the eighth. Let's see. 64. And that's a strikeout. Davis is up. And that is a 13. And for Davis, a 13 is a 42. And Davis got hit by pitch. Wow. Which brings Hardy up. 1 out. We got a 13 by Hardy, which is a 14, which means he walks. All right, and that brings Walker up. Walker's up. Let's see what can happen with Walker. Got men at first and second. Fielding one. Roll is a 31. Let's see what Walker gets here. It's an 8. Out at first. Runners advance one base. Okay. 5-3. Everybody else advances one. Oh. Yeah. So we got men at second and third. Puts Lindsay up. All right. Lindsay needs a nice hit here to. He gets a 12. For Lindsay, a 12 is 25. And that's a double play. And that will end the inning. Wow. Getting close, but no cigar. Okay, we're at the bottom of the 8th. Giles is up. $32 for Giles. It's 26. And with fielding 2, still out at first base. That's 4-3. And Williams bats for Creasy, who got injured for 6 games. So it's 53 for Williams. 53 is a 19. Base is empty. Okay. And that is an error on the third baseman. And that is the second error of this game on the third baseman. And that will bring Bell up. Yeah. That's a 43. $43 for Bell is 29. And that's basically a put out by the pitcher. Put out by the pitcher. 1 to 3. And that takes us to the top of the ninth. And McLaurin is batting. This is McLaurin is batting. All right. Top of the ninth. McLaurin is batting. 3 outs to go. And they're down only by a run. Can we get a home run or something to extend this? Oops, that doesn't count. And that, my friends, will be a hit of some sort. That will be a hit of some sort. What does he get? That's a 45 is rolled. $45 is rolled. We check the second column and that is a 6. And Hensley, the pitcher, is still a grade B. So that's 6. And that's a double. No, sorry. Yeah, it is a double for McLaurin. Brings Spearman up. Now, if Spearman gets a home run here, we have to go to the bottom of the. We'll have to go to the bottom of the ninth, and that is a 64 for Spearman. 64 is a 14, which is a walk. Spearman walks. And that brings up Lockett. Lockett is up. Rolls a 45. For Lockett, a 45 is a 40. It's men at first and second. And safe on an error by the second baseman. Oh my gosh. And that, which is the first error for the Barons. Most of the other ones have. That's the first one for the. I'm sorry, that's the first error for the Stars. The other ones have been by the Barons. So we got the bases loaded. Oh my gosh. And McGinnis is up at the plate, the top of the ninth. Oh, this is really tough because this is really tough. It's the top of the ninth. The bases are loaded. McGinnis is the only one to score for the Barons. So, do we keep him in and hit him, or put in a pinch hitter and then hope that he does well enough to score enough runs? And I think in this situation, and how many outs are there? There's no outs. Oh, jeez. Possible to do a. Nope. Well, I hate to do this, but my decision is to let him bat since he's the only one that uh, has scored any runs. So we're going to see what happens here. Roll is a 52. And on McGinnis's card, 52 is a 27. Bases loaded, 27. Runner out at double play, runner out at home. And out at first. So that is 2 outs. And that means McGinnis is out. That means okay. That means Spearman and Lockett go to second and third. Lawrence out. McGinnis, okay, out with the runners at first and second. Move over. That puts Sampson up. Can something happen to keep this all alive, or will there be an out and the game over? Be interesting, but you got the leadoff man, which is what you want. So we will roll and see. It's a 54, and for Sampson, 54 is a 32. Minute second, third. Fielding one for the Stars, 32. And that's a fly out to, that's a fly out to right field. So that ends the game. Yep. I had a few glitches on this one, but it didn't really affect it too much. But the Stars win 2-1. And that was basically due to Radcliffe's single that brought Styles home. Yeah. And it's 2-1. So I've had 3 Negro League games. In all 3 games, if you see, have been by a 1-run lead. Have only been a 1-run lead. And the interesting part of the Barons scoring is it came by the pitcher. And the Stars got 1 home run, and then they got men on base, and one of the runners was able to get a single to score the go-ahead run, and that was pretty much it. Guys, I hope all your rolls are 11s and 66s, and that you win, or do what you need to win, take it to extras. And if you're fighting TKOs or go to the judges and win by either a unanimous decision or a split victory, you guys take care. I got to check on my chili, see how it's doing, and I will see you next time in the sports pages. Take care, guys.